you guys doing? I'm v.6, and I'm on the latest snapshot, the 13W41B, which obviously is a little bit above 1.6.4. So we're going to be making this, but I wanted to show you guys the features of it first, and then we're going to go ahead and make it. So yeah, just pick the floor you want to go to. So I want to go to floor 2, which would be right there. Go to floor 2, hit your button, get in here, get mildly centered, hit your button, and then it takes you up. Now this is on the high speed. You can slow this down by quite a bit, and I have this so you don't take any fall damage at all on the way down. It's actually what took me so long on the tutorial. So to call it up to you, it has no instant extension, but it's a lot smaller than my last design. So you can see the call up's a little slow, but it will stop on whatever floor. The spacings are only 6 per floor, which makes it the smallest of the elevators. No fall damage. As you can see, I didn't get any of this stuff on the way down, so that's good. And it'll go up and down to any floor that you want to. So you can pick this floor, jump in here, and do your thing. And so as I said, you don't have to be perfectly centered. Like I'm on the left side. There you go. And then just reset it, and that's how it works. So total dimensions of it is actually covered. That means with the walls on it, it's 16 by 14. So non-covered, it's 15 by 13. So yeah, let's go ahead and do the tutorial. Alright, so for this tutorial I'm going to give you all the dimensions which some people complained about last time. And of course I'm going to take F3 off so that we can see more. So total dimensions of this elevator, it's actually 18 tall, and that's from ground level, and then you can add on another 3 blocks, you know, for a total of 21 blocks, including the under circuitry. But so covered, it's 16 by 14, and then not covered, it's 15 by 13. So that's including those beams over there. So let's just get right into this tutorial. So we need an 8 by 8 hole by 2, but we can kind of avoid cutting out a lot of material if you follow me on this. Otherwise, just do an 8 by 8. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then from this back corner, we're going to want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and 11. And that's going to be just for some wiring. And so if we come back over here and count from this white, right in front of this white block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, that's all that we really need to dig out. So the rest of this needs to be too deep. And then there's just one area in the front to avoid budding. I tried to get rid of it altogether, but it buds occasionally. So I'm going to do a little high rise so you can copy this wool. This is where the bulk of the circuitry is going to go. This is where all the main up and down is going to be for the elevator. So the next thing we need to do is our elevator shaft. So from the 8th block, we're going to need to go and make a little 4 by 4 area like that. So 4 by 4, and then facing this way, we're going to need to come down and go 1, 2, 3, and then dig this area out like that. So it should look like this now. Alright, so we can go ahead and do our deck now, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a little L. Like that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oops. So this is just going to be our deck. This area is totally optional. If you like the material your elevator is sitting on, you don't need to do it. Alright, so this is what we should have now. This is going to be for the bulk of our circuitry. So the next thing we need to do is just put sticky pistons here with blocks on them, and then just fill this area in here. And then we're going to need some normal pistons here, and then underneath them we're going to need 2 repeaters like that. And then for animation, just go ahead and seal that off, and then where this pink wool is, you just need to bring it in like this. Let me go to the front, so it should look like that now. And then this needs to come out 2 more, so this is what we should have now. That will be all the digging we need. So this is all done. Next thing we need to do is just go right into the structure. So each floor of spacing is 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and there's going to be our first floor right there. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. There is the second floor, and then 13, 14, 15, and 16, 17, 18, and that's going to be the roof or your next floor. Which I didn't do this tutorial to make it so you could expand it. I mean, it'd be really difficult to expand. So these next beams need to go up to the 18 tall. That's if you want the roof. It's totally up to you. And of course, if you're expanding this, you won't even need this. This is actually for covering, or it can house the next floor button, which I will show you a little bit of that at the end. So I'm going to be having to skip through this video just a little. So you're going to want to fill in these whole areas, like right here and here, for a 18 by 4 and then a 18 by 6. So I'm going to finish that and see you guys in a sec. Alright, so this is what you should have. So the next step is to just get our floors. So we should have a floor every 6 blocks, which would leave us with a spacing of 5 in between. And I'm just going to fill in just the outside edge so that I know where each floor is. And then at the end of the video I will just, do that real quick. This of course is just the ceiling or the roof of the elevator. It's totally optional. The only height you really need is 5 blocks up. So right there, if you're not planning on putting a roof on it. Alright, so next thing we're going to need to do is just get our elevator shaft going. So easiest way to do this is from the bottom up, like that, and then come around on this side and bring it out another 2. So we're going to do the same up here. Now you do not have to use glowstone. I use it just to give some extra light myself. And then these extra blocks are so that we don't have to use any glass on this. So I'd like to do the same on this as well. I want it to look symmetrical. I want it to look exactly the same. So like that. Alright, next step is to, on just this bottom floor, you are going to need to knock this out and then here, like that. And then go 1, 2, and 3 blocks, like that. And then you're going to want to put some redstone here. Block there. Repeater on no delay. And then just bring it out. Then you're going to want a sticky piston here. And that's going to control our floor spacings. Then you're going to need sticky pistons here. And before we go any further, where this block is here, you are going to need to put 3 green pieces of wool like that for our safety rail circuit. And these are going to be getting hopper flops here, so you can put comparators here if you'd like to for testing. So you should see it extended up and extend that piston out like that. And then we can do the same up here. The only thing is we do not need the floor selector because this is the top floor, so just some redstone and that. And then right here, 2 and 3, throw another comparator and just give it a quick little test. There we go, everything's cool. So that's all that we need now. We just need to finish our elevator shaft, put in our pistons, and then we can start on the up and down circuit. Alright, so elevator shaft. So from what we've built, we need to go 2 and 2, 12 blocks up. So 12 blocks should be level with those pistons right there. Just like that. And then we want to do the same on this side. Just like that. And then skip a block back. Just like this. So we're going to need sticky pistons and non-sticky pistons. And then starting from the right side, you're going to want to go every other all the way up like that. And then grab your non-stickies. Then whatever material you're making this out of, it does not have to be made out of birch. Yeah. So that's what we should have now. It's just basically the elevator shaft. Now we need to get our extensions for these. So this next circuit is just for extending. So everywhere there's not a piston, you need a block. And then you need some repeaters. And of course these are on no delay, like that. And then you want to do the same on this side. So everywhere there's not a piston, and then on this very top one you won't need anything but that. So that's that. So the next stage for this is to just get some cosmetic stuff out of the way. And you can design this top however you want to. This for me is just for if I wanted to do another floor, it's ready to go. But that's all I'm doing on it. So that's just the cosmetic part of the elevator. Alright. So next step is blue circuit. So blue circuit is 1 block underneath and then 3 out from that block. So a total of 4, just like this. Knock that out. Repeater on 4 ticks, and then just connect the redstone like that. And then grab whatever material you like to, and then sever that connection like that. Repeater here on 2 ticks like this. And then a 2x3 area like that. And then you'll only need, this is just, bare minimum materials. So you can fill this in if you want to, but just to save the fact that we don't need any redstone there. And yeah, so you basically want to bring this all the way up till it's level, and your last section should look like this. Just a repeater on full delay like that, and that's all that you'll need. This is for just a separator. And then the timings that you're going to need on this elevator is behind each sticky piston you need a repeater on 4 ticks, next to it 1 on none. And then you're going to need redstone, and then 2 ticks on this, and this is for the high speed. I'll show you how to adjust it when we start the red circuit. So I'll do a little bit of this with you. So 4, 1, and then 2 ticks. Very important not to miss any of these. And it should be like this all the way up. And then of course this would be separated by the next circuit. So I'm going to finish this, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so this is what you should have right here. So 2 ticks down the back, and then 4 behind the piston, and then you need no delay on this. Very important to get all the timings right on this, otherwise it's not going to extend the piston properly. So there's only 2 main circuits for this. It's just red and green. So we're going to go ahead and just do those real quick. So here and here, some red wool. Of course, you do not need to use this wool, but it does help if you're trying to trace a problem down. You can always comment on YouTube and tell me, if you tell me that the up circuit isn't working, then I'll tell you it's the red circuit. If you say that it's not going down, then I know it's the green. And that's why I color coordinate things the way that I do. So I'm going to give you guys a look of what this should look like. It should be just like that. And then once you have that, then you'll just need some repeaters. And put them in just like I have them here. And then do the same over here. And this creates a really good multiplayer speed right here. It's technically 4 ticks. So the next thing we're going to want to do is just from the bottom here, you're going to want to put your torches, and it should extend up the elevator, and we can kind of test this at the same time. I'm going to go ahead and delete these. You can see that the elevator's up. So from here you just want to go from the top down. You don't have to, but as you see here, when I add this torch, it's going to retract the elevator. Now if you go and look in here, you see any piston sticking out, your blue timing's messed up. So if that happens, you need to go and recheck the timings. The easiest way is to find out where the piston's sticking out, go around the back, and then adjust it accordingly. Okay, so here's where you have some options. If you want this to be slow and not such a drag on your, for instance, on your PC, this is the slowest setting. There's no in-betweens on this. I mean, you can put it in between, but it's weird. So it's either you want it on high speed or you want it on the slowest setting, which would be 4 ticks on the red circuit all the way down, and then you'd want 4 here all the way down. And if you do that, this thing pretty much will work every single time without fail. So that's that part. Now we just need this green circuit. This is what connects to the red, and every other block like that, and then redstone, just like that. Okay, so green circuit. This one does not need as much material as it did on the last one. To save space and things, that's all you really need. So you're going to have a repeater coming this way and then one this way that's going to be powering this redstone, which is going to activate our hopper flopper knot. And then the easiest way to build this is to just bring it up just level with the red. I like to do it like this and just kind of carve it out after the fact. If that makes any sense to you guys, just basically just fill the whole thing in. It's a lot easier doing it like this. And then, so you should have something like this. And then you just want to kind of take out, you can either go every other all the way up, or you can do left to right like I'm doing here. So it's an exact replica of the red circuit. You can see it matches up perfectly. The only difference is this one uses torches to power up, and this one uses redstone to power down, in the same fashion. So these require timings. Without these timings, you're not going to get floors to stop right. So you do have to add the timings on, which is 2 ticks on this side and 4 on this side. Just like that. Okay, so next thing you need to do is just add some redstone there. And then we need to put redstone all the way up both sides here. Don't need any on the top of that other block. Just like that. And then I missed some redstone here and here. Make sure that you got all your redstone in. Otherwise your pistons will get left out. Alright, so we can go ahead and just dig the rest of this out. Like that. And you can just put your redstone all the way across. You'll see it connect there. And then it just needs to go into a repeater. So we're going to do a hopper flop, which is a dropper facing that way, and then back in. And then a hopper, shift click it in. And just grab any material that you would like like that, and then a comparator like this, oops, like that, and then a block here. Now right here we're going to need some timing, so 4 here, and then 1, and this right here, this repeater which activates our first piston, it can get updated, so you might want to put it on 3 ticks. We'll put it on 3, and if it throws you out, then add on the 4th, but 3 should be good. So that should wrap up the whole bottom of this. Now just as a precaution, I put a block over this while we're building. If anything falls in there, you'll end up with 2 items, which will make this thing not work right. Alright, control panel. So it's just some black wool and some buttons. So we got up and down, and then ground 1 and 2, like that. You want to do this on all the floors. You may have noticed that I filled in and did the cosmetic stuff on the floors. You can do that as well if you'd like to. Start it on the buttons, and then yeah, so it should be like that on each floor. So that's what you should have. Alright, so the next step is to do our hopper flops, and we need them on the green circuit. So before we go any further, we're going to want to make this little S pattern here, and then you'll need repeater like that with some redstone. And then we can go ahead and build our hopper flops or dropper flops, whatever you want to call them. So just like that, if any of these do not work, check to make sure that they're facing the right directions. That's what will cause these to not work. So by default, these should be on the up position. So if I knock this out, you'll see that it's extended. So this is default, so you want it to be on. So if that doesn't work, then one of your hoppers is facing the wrong way, or droppers, one of them. So same thing here. And then any material, it doesn't have to be a redstone torch, it could be dirt, whatever you want. Go ahead and activate it. You should see the power come on. Your safety rails should be by default on the up position, just like that. So to save material, you can just delete those if you want, or leave them. Okay, so let's go ahead and just hook up our, well, we'll get our up circuit to tell this to go up, hooked up real quick, which is just a sticky piston on the top of the black keypad with a block of redstone. Yeah, it does have to be blocks of redstone. There's no way to get it into the size that we're going to be making this. So we're going to go ahead and hook up our down circuits for this, and then get this going. So 3 blocks like that, 1 under the block of redstone, and then you'll need redstone here. 3 ticks on that block with redstone on it. Then you can come in here and then grab a redstone block and put it in like that. And now if you hit the up or down button, it's going to activate this piston. Now I will say that you can simply, if you're looking for it, you can actually just run your redstone directly onto that line if you're looking to save material, and you do not need the up button. This is just to make it look, you know, like a full functioning elevator. So you want to make sure that this redstone is here all the way across and connected in, and we'll do a quick little test on this just so you guys can make sure. You should see the safety rail come up, all the pistons should go up and then come back down here, and you can use either button, up or down, and it should retract it just like you see in there. Alright, so the next stage of this is to get the rest of our down circuit on. So depending on which speed you make this, you're going to either need this or not. I'd say put it in anyway. It will help any timing changes in the future. So blocks like this, and then delete that. And we're just going to make a pulse lengthener. The cheapest way is with these repeaters, like that. Then you're going to need a repeater here, 3 ticks, just like that, and then a block with some redstone on it, just like that. And then we just need to connect this in. So one lower, and then another, making this little stair pattern here. So just like that. And then we need to do the same up here. So 3 blocks, just like that. Redstone here, repeater, 3 ticks, and then we'll need a little 3 by platform, like that. Repeater, 4 ticks, 1, and that. And we can do the same thing we did down there. Just like that. Repeater in there, and then connect the redstone. So with the pulse lengthener on this, we can put this on any speed we want to now. And just double check your timings, make sure no redstone is missing. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do our top first because it doesn't really take that much. So block here with redstone on it, and then you'll need a sticky piston like that, block of redstone, and we should just do this all the way down. Oops. So like that. So that's going to be, now we just need to do our selection circuit, which we only need one of them on this. Alright, so selection circuit is pink, and it's right here on this middle piston, I guess. And so you come out 1 block like that, and then 1 over, and then go 1, 2, and 3 blocks like that. You're going to need a repeater here and some redstone. We're going to go ahead and make another hopper flop, or dropper flop, whatever you want to call it. Just like that. Comparator here, and then you're going to want to come out a block, and we need to invert this signal. And I would go into why it needs to be inverted, but yeah. So delete these, and then by default it should be on the on position. So we do need to add in a material here, so anything you want, some dirt, redstone, torch, whatever you have available on you, and then just activate it. So by default it should be on the on position. Alright, so the next circuit that we're going to be making on this is the white circuit. But before we do, right here we're going to need to put blocks like that with a repeater here. So that redstone is going to send a signal through here. And so underneath this torch, you're going to come down 1 and 2 blocks like that, and then come up like this, and put a repeater right there. Redstone, and then a redstone torch, just like that. And then next to this repeater here, we need a timing compensation. So 3 ticks on that. Then we're going to delete this, and then put repeater and a repeater like that. So this is what's going to stop the elevator. So sticky piston off of this torch. I'm going to go ahead and use pink on this. And what this does is it tells us when it should and shouldn't turn on. So if we test that, it severs the signal. So it will not allow power to go through here. So that's what that does. Okay, so now we need our down circuit. This is what tells it to stop on the way down. So across from that repeater, magenta up like that, and then sever these connections, and then including this block, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 like that. And then you're going to need a repeater here, 2 pieces of redstone, and then a repeater like that. Now we're going to create another dropper flop like that. This one requires something different. So comparator here, what we're going to need on this is a sword, or anything that's cheap. For instance, this is going to give us a signal strength of 64 blocks in this. So you can't actually make more than one of these, so they're not stackable. So it gives us a signal strength of 2 on this, which is needed. So next thing is to do this pattern on it. And so now that our signal strength's been boosted, we can do that, which gives us the perfect timing on this. Alright, so the next part of this is to come here and put a half slab. We need this here so it doesn't bud our hopper drop or whatever, hopper flop. So what we need here is we need to put a block right there and then shift click a sticky piston there. And so when this block gets put in, it's going to tell this elevator to stop here. So that's what it should look like. Budding could occur here, but it won't because this piston's never going to be touched at the same time when you're hitting the down button. So if you should not get any budding on this. So I would recommend deleting these, but you do want blocks over any of these, especially when building. If you get 2 items in there, it's going to, basically not work correct. So the next step is, this is done. Our floor selection system, that's all that's needed. Now we just need to bring this magenta circuit out here like that, and then that's all you're going to need. So this is going to tell it to stop here. So the next step here is to put in our floor selection, control panels and buttons. So that is actually going to be orange for the down, and then we're going to use clay for the up, which is really simple on this. It's a very easy circuit to do. So this is a ground floor, which we don't need to activate anything from down here. So we only need floors 1 and 2 active. So something like that, and then some torches. Then, so for floor 1, we just need to activate floor 1. So we just need to come up until it's level with the pink circuit like that, and then bring it over 2 blocks and then 1 under like that, and then you'll need a repeater here. It does have to be like that, otherwise it will update the block of redstone piston. So as you can see, this one's on the off position, connected in. Now when you hit the stop at floor 1 button, it will activate that. So before we go any further, we need to hook this up, so which would be right there, and then you can basically put 2 blocks like that, repeater there, and then just continue our torch tower. So on this one we need to do something different. We need to have it go under and over, and just like that. And then we need to do the same thing, just bring it up till it's level with this green block up here, right there. Add in our torches, and the one that's off is the one that we want. Come over 2 blocks, 1 and 2, add some redstone just like that. So this is not even nearly you're talking about connecting from here to here, so there's no reason to do some elaborate piston system. So what I'm going to use is a different kind of a downward signal, which would be just this little pattern here, little star. You can do this either way. You can go repeater and then redstone, which would connect, but so I'm going to just do that, just simply just like that, and then I'm going to come underneath here, and this is going to be an amber gate right here. So bring these blocks over here like that, go ahead and sever the connection on the green circuit, and then we can just connect this right in. It's really small distance to travel, so there's no reason for an elaborate system. Alright, so there's the note block system. Real easy. From the bottom, you just basically put 3 blocks with a torch on it, just like this. And I put it 1 lower, so that if you do another floor, it will fit the next one right in, because your next floor selection system would be there. So if we put it up level, it would actually be touching this piston. So for extension purposes, you'd want to have your note block system just like that. So that's the cheapest way. It's going to give you one on the on and off position. So up and down, you'll hear note blocks. And so the last thing we need to do before testing is to just hook up the rest of this clay circuit. So block here and here, repeater, and then some redstone, just like that. That should be it. Now we can go ahead and test it. So I'm going to show you how to use the control panel, and we can also test it at the same time. So if you want to call the elevator to you when you're on a floor, say anything above, say 1 and 2, you just hit the down button. Sends a signal down the green circuit and sends it up to you. Now if you want to go up to the floor above you, it'd hit the floor, above you, and then hit up. And it would take you up there. And then once you're up here, you select which floor you want to stop on. So if you want to go to ground, you hit ground. Or if you want to stop at floor 2, you hit 2. And then it should go and stop on floor 1. Sorry. And then you never want to leave the elevator on a floor. By default, you want to reset it. Meaning you always want to have it down or up, all the way up. So either or, never in between. So now we just need to test the ride. So as we were talking about earlier, you may need to have this on 4 or 3 ticks. I did everything I could to prevent butting, but it just seems to still want to butt. I don't know why. There's not really a lot of redstone around here, but what ends up happening is that this piston that lifts you up the first time, which would be this one, it gets updated when this one extends, the one right here, and causing them to be in sync, which is the worst thing for an elevator. It usually will push you out. As you can see though, it's nice and perfect on this one. So if you ever forget to do your safety rail, what you want to do to reset it is hit the up button to lower it, and then I'm going to go ahead and stop at floor 1. You should see no fall damage, so when you're going down this, you should not see any of this stuff. And I worked really hard to get this timed perfectly, so you shouldn't see any kind of fall damage whatsoever. And then this staying up is to prevent a little bit of lag, so it keeps your FPS up. It lets it recover quicker so that you can hit your elevator to ride it again. There you go. Get up on floor 2 and send it down for a reset. And it has to be done that way. So if you're having any issues with this elevator, some of the things that will cause these, would cause big problems would be timings. These timings are specific. You need 2 ticks of delay on this piston, and you get 2 different timings from a dropper flop. Inverted, it almost instantly shuts off, and this is on a 2 ticks delay. And then this one being not inverted, it's a delayed on, and then it gives you an instant off, and that's the way that they work. So I timed it specifically for these. So if any of these things aren't working, you need to check to make sure your droppers are all facing the correct position and that the tube is connected in the hopper. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I can't really show you how to extend this, but I will say that my old tutorial does show me using some instant wire that's exactly the same. It's just the bottom's slightly different, to add on another row. So each floor that you add, it needs another clay circuit, another torch tower, and then it would need another orange circuit going down. It's your choice whether you want to use an amber gate system like this or instant pistons. I used an amber gate on this one. I added one more floor just to show you guys how it would work. And you can see that it's just some redstone, and it powers this repeater, which then powers redstone, and it just travels down. It doesn't need to be instant. The elevator doesn't travel down fast enough, so even if you hit the button, jumped in it, and hit down, it would activate the floor telling it to stop before you ever reached it. So as far as destination and distance, it wouldn't ever matter. You can build this as high as you want to depending on your PC. I made this more so that you can maybe make it on a survival map if you have enough material. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Comment, like, and subscribe, and of course let me know what you think of this tutorial, if it was easy to follow or hard, And if you have an issue with it, if it's not going up, if it's not going down, if something's not working, comment and let me know what it is, and I'll reply and let you know what circuit you should check, whether it be blue, red, green, pink, or magenta. So, alright, have a good one, and later.